Alright, hello everyone, my name is Kieran. Welcome to a transfer video, a bit of a transfer video really, a bit of an update on Manchester United's transfer news, but it concerns, of course, an outgoing. It wasn't going to concern an incoming because our transfer window is finished, and of course it's to do with Alexis Sanchez and his move to Inter Milan, which looks like is going to be completed today, probably going to be fully announced today. He's arrived in Milan off his private jet to complete his move to Inter Milan, and I think it's been a very, very interesting, a very kind of curious reaction, really, in my opinion, to what's happened with Alexis Sanchez. I think it's very weird to see how some people have reacted to it, considering their previous opinions on where Alexis Sanchez stands within the squad. But before we get into all of that, please leave a like if you aren't already, and also subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Really does help us out. And also, if you do like this kind of earlier time for streaming as well, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to keep it up. I just thought with this move very, very close to being completed, I want to get this video out kind of explaining what my kind of thoughts on it were. Welcome Krishna, thanks for joining, really appreciate it. As we go through as usual, please leave your thoughts in the live chat as well. So, of course, Alexis Sanchez, the story is he's gone out on loan to Inter Milan, obviously barring all the kind of stuff. It has to just be, I think it's just, kind of the paperwork needs to be completed and things like that. Barring all that happening, he's basically an Inter Milan player, let's face it. I think potentially he could fit in well there. I think he will be hungry to, show everyone that he's better than what he is at Manchester United. And under Antonio Conte as well, he's already got one of our players in Romelu Lukaku. He's now taken Alexis Sanchez under his wing. I think he's really going for the title. He really wants to upset kind of the apple cart in Italy and win the title with Inter Milan. And he's brought two United players with him. And I think, in my opinion, Lukaku and Sanchez weren't exactly really pulling their weight to United in the last kind of 12 to 18 months. Well, probably more 12 months probably. So to see them go is, in my opinion, not a bad thing. I think we do need to start phasing these sort of players out of the squad, and Solskjaer is doing a good job of that. Obviously, we've seen Herrera, Fellaini, Sanchez leave as well, and Lukaku as well, and this is what I don't get with the reaction to it. A lot of people were saying that these players were deadwood players. A lot of people were saying that Sanchez should, is on too much wages. We should have got rid of them. I don't understand, but now everyone's kind of saying, oh, he's clueless from the club to let go of Sanchez. Obviously, maybe they're referring to the fact that we can't replace him, but at the same time, it's a rebuild in the end of the day, and part of that rebuild is getting rid of players that are deadwood players, are players that aren't pulling their weight within the squad. And Sanchez, for me, wasn't doing that, and to be honest with you, I didn't see too much light at the end of the tunnel. Now, one thing, obviously, you could argue is, yes, obviously, it does leave us a bit light going forward, especially now with Anthony Martial being injured. It does leave us quite light going forward in terms of our options, but at the same time, I think Sanchez leaving, is it really a bad thing? I don't know. I think some people blaming Solskjaer for this, saying he's absolutely clueless. I'm not sure how much he really had to do with Sanchez leaving. And I think a lot of people, blame Solskjaer for things that, blame Solskjaer conveniently for things when actually they've got nothing to do with him, like the transfers. I mean, do you think Solskjaer really does all the transfers? Do you really think that Solskjaer, decides who to bring in and does the negotiating and brings them in? Solskjaer didn't say to the board, if an offer comes in for Alexis Sanchez, take him. I think, for me, I feel like the board had a lot to do with that decision. But anyway, welcome RB Coms, thanks for joining us. Who do you think will get in the Champions League draw? Funny, mate. Thanks for joining. About that. We're going to move on. Chris says, if Man United sold Sanchez at go, then they would have saved more money and go for Wilfried Zaha in the transfer window. Well, I mean, this is the thing, obviously, about the replacement for Alexis Sanchez. Of course, we can't really bring in a replacement for him until January, which, yes, might be annoying, but at the same time, a lot of United fans were saying we didn't need Sanchez. A lot of United fans saying that Martial and Rashford are going to tear up this season. And as soon as Sanchez has gone and we've kind of drawn and lost a few games, had a bit of a blip, everyone's worrying. Everyone's worrying. So I don't know. I think Sanchez is a good player, but I don't think it's going to work out at Manchester United. I think he's had quite a few chances, and when we're paying him 500 grand a week, it is good to kind of get that sort of money freed up. Even though United are still paying a bit of Sanchez's wages, a proportion of Sanchez's wages is still being paid by Manchester United, which isn't ideal. And obviously, Man United wanted Inter Milan to pay a bigger proportion of the wages that they're paying right now. So it's a bit frustrating on that point, and the fact that in Alexis Sanchez's contract there is no option to buy for Inter Milan. So that means that if Inter Milan wants Sanchez, then there's no kind of option to buy him, which a lot of United fans would probably be happy if there was an option to buy, so we could finally get him off the books for good. But there is no option to buy within that contract, which suggests potentially that Solskjaer and the Glazers do see Sanchez as a potential good option for the future. Obviously he's old, but at the same time, someone who, if he does well at Inter Milan, we could potentially bring him back and make him an asset for our own team. So maybe it's a good bit of business. Maybe we'll see down the line on that one. But at the same time, it's rustled a lot of United fans. A lot of United fans I've seen on social media not very happy about it, to say the least. And I think, look, Sanchez, he came into Manchester United. A lot of people kind of, thought Sanchez was going to be kind of the next Robin van Persie. They thought, the season after we brought him in, they thought he was going to, they thought he was going to hit the ground running, and it didn't. It just hasn't happened. It just hasn't happened. He just, he scored a few goals here and there, scored a few important goals, had some really good performances as well in there, but just no consistency whatsoever from him. He had a bit of an injury crisis as well, which didn't help his cause. And ultimately, I think 500 grand a week to sit on the bench, it's just, we don't want that. You don't want that. The only thing I might have tolerated is if we'd slashed his wages completely, but that wasn't a realistic move that was going to happen. So at the end of the day, it is what it is, and Sanchez going to Inter Milan probably going to help Antonio Conte quite a lot. I think Conte obviously seeing a lot in Lukaku and Sanchez, and hopefully they do have very, very good careers ahead of them. Lukaku, of course, I think a lot of people were kind of happy to see Lukaku go to Inter Milan. Obviously scored his first goal for Inter Milan, very similarly to how he scored his first goal for Manchester United in the Super Cup against Real Madrid, so a bit of symmetry there. So yeah, I think Conte's definitely going to try and go for the Serie A title, and with Lukaku and Sanchez, if he does get them firing, I think Conte will have a really, really good chance of challenging Juventus this season. I'm not sure what you think, RB Comps, about that. But yeah, he's asked, what do I think of the Sanchez deal? As I said, for me, I think I don't mind Sanchez going. I really don't mind him. I think, as I said at the top of the show, I feel like he's the sort of player that we've needed in this rebuild to kind of phase out. The sort of players that I feel have only really come for the money and haven't really come because they want to be here. And I think Sanchez is definitely one of them. And obviously it looked like he wanted to leave. So the fact that we kind of got rid of him, at least for this season, and hopefully for future seasons as well, is probably a good thing in my opinion. I think some United fans aren't very happy, saying we sold Sanchez and now we don't have many striking options. But at the same time, those same people were saying that Alexis Sanchez was deadwood and we need to get rid of them. Just because we can't bring any players in, now suddenly everyone's kind of turning and changing their opinion. I don't get that myself, but people will be how they are, and everyone's entitled to their opinion, I guess. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. And you guys are as well, so please let me know your thoughts in the live chat as well on the Alexis Sanchez deal. Do you agree with all the kind of terms of the deal? Do you think it was a mistake by Manchester United to let Alexis Sanchez go? Let me know your thoughts on the live chat and also in the comment section below as well. RB Com says, I'm definitely scared of Conte and Lukaku. They can challenge us this season, and this is the first year I've feared losing the title. Yeah, of course, Juventus have been on a decent streak of winning titles in Serie A, but maybe with Antonio Conte, someone who's won Serie A with Juventus before, been a very, very successful manager everywhere he's been, I think they're going to put up a really, really strong challenge into Milan. So yeah, I'd watch out if I were you, mate. I really would watch out. But if Lukaku, it depends. If Lukaku shows the sort of form he showed in the first season he was at Manchester United, then yeah, I'd be worried. If he showed the sort of form that he showed in the second season at Manchester United, then I wouldn't be worried at all, to be honest with you. So it just depends which Lukaku shows up. But Inter Milan definitely have some really good players in and amongst it as well. So, I mean, it's, yeah... It's going to be an interesting season in the Serie A. Definitely is going to be an interesting season. But we'll have to wait and see how that goes. I think Lukaku, as I said, Lukaku and Sanchez are going to be very, very hungry to show people that they're better than what they showed at Manchester United. And that's the one thing that I'd be worried at if I was a rival fan of Inter Milan, because they're gonna want to really show the world what they can do, and they're gonna want to win titles as well. Sanchez didn't win a single trophy at Manchester United. Lukaku didn't win a single trophy either. So they're going to want to win trophies, and they're going to be hungry to win the Serie A title and titles in Italy as well, cup competitions and things like that. I'm not sure whether Inter Milan are in the Champions League this year, but maybe they could be dark horses to go far. Who knows? Who knows? Potentially the Ajax of the Champions League. So yeah, it's an interesting one really on Alexis Sanchez. But that's really it. There's not much else to kind of report on that side of things. I think Sanchez is probably happy with the move to Inter Milan. I think a lot of United fans would rather an option to buy in the deal, but obviously it is what it is, and Sanchez now no longer part of the squad. And now we just have to hope that our attackers stay fit, because if they don't, I think we are going to run out of attacking options. But we've got to put faith in them. They're young, they're hungry, and hopefully they can do the business for us this season and get us into that top four. But anyway, guys, thank you so much everyone for watching. I'm sorry it was a bit of a short stream today. Only kind of giving my thoughts on the Alexis Sanchez deal. Also, it's a bit early for me to stream usually. My next video will either be the Fantasy Premier League update like I did last season for Game Week 4, or it will be the preview for the Southampton game. Hopefully, we'll go better in that one than we did at home to Crystal Palace. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a bit.